As we start, I'd just like to say that's my background. Thank you all for being here. I work a lot with trauma. You know, post-cancer, during cancer, and all sorts of other bodily illnesses too. And we see such a huge shift. I stand tall on the shoulders of all my clients who work with me for years. And they give me the courage to be here. With that passion, I've written 2 books, Childhood Matters, and one is My Body and Its Secret Mind, coming out next week. One book has been translated in Japanese. Oh, I never want to enter that market again. I learned what perfection is to the core. So let's see, when a child, during cancer or post-cancer, yeah? Survivorship. A diagnosis of cancer, just that word, is a huge traumatic ongoing experience in children and adults, whoever it is. That's the big C word that scares the living daylights out of us. Something not okay is happening within the home. The home is this body I live in. And what is this home is all about in that second book, that concept of it. We very much haven't understood that. So let's see what happens when it's during cancer, post-cancer survivorship. This child, many human beings step in to support the child, and they do their very best to offer the best that life can offer for this child. The doctors, and if you notice I've underlined the S because it's just not one doctor, a whole team has to come in to support the child, to take care of the biology. And who are the remaining people who need to support this human being? A lot of emotional, mental support from play therapists, nurses, so many, it's a whole team, parents. And why do we need emotional support? Because it's just the biology of the body, and what many people don't recognize very much is, this is the key part. The pain center in the brain does not differentiate between physical pain and emotional pain. Physical pain is well researched. We have doctors, a lot of medicines, and all of these guys are sponsoring the talks here today. But emotional pain is so little understood. And we play mind games with emotions and push them back, yeah? And it's well known that if you have an emotional heartbreak and you were to take a Panadol, it helps. It's real. I'm not just saying this. Every day I sit with persons in that pain, yeah? So now what happens? Yeah, much pain occurs. What is this pain? Well, I'm just going to talk what no one speaks. This pain, within this pain is encompassed a lot of shame. Why is this happening to me, of all the people? There's a lot of anger, rage, helplessness, hopelessness, sadness, disappointment, jealousy, envy, and the whole, again, anger at God, a sense of betrayal. There's so much of all this kalam kabut happening inside that human being. And doctors take care of the physical body with compassion, and that's when play therapists step in to take care of that emotional, mental anguish. It's pure, utter, raw anguish we sit with day after day with clients. I call them individuals. It's a privilege for us to sit with them. They offer us that gift and we hold them in their pain. Survival is at stake. And life is at stake. This body, the home I live in, can be called any time. Even if we say that they are in remission, that fear remains in them. Yeah, and that's where the financial costs come in. Can everyone afford this or not? The impermanence of this body's survival, it's very hard. At such times, that ingrained programming within the human body is very much to the surface. It's there in all of us here. But at that times, it's even very much more to the surface. What the hell is this programming? Let's see what it is. The key part is it's so invisible. It's so essential, just like oxygen for breathing, and it's so invisible, so it's so neglected. That's why I'm hoping, Dr. Fikri, you'll hear me and take this seriously. We really need a lot more awareness in our country about that, yeah? This is so obvious and it's so invisible. So I'm just going to help you all out by giving you all a clue. If I asked you to arrange chairs in a circle, which way would you all arrange it? This way? Or would you arrange it this way? Style A or style B? I'm waiting for an answer from the crowd. A. Thank you. Did you see we automatically said A, no one said B? Isn't it? That's what I'm saying. It's so present, just like we don't see oxygen, but it's there. We all went for A. So this is what that ingrained programming is. We are inherently, neurologically, biologically, physiologically programmed for genuine connection and genuine inclusion. All organ systems are involved in this programming. When genuine inclusion isn't happening, and authentic acceptance of the whole experience, every organ system in the body is called up to make up for that deficit. And healthcare becomes more expensive. And however hard doctors try, we can't get to the optimal health of that human being. And I see this because, as I said, I stand tall on the shoulders of whom I work with. I've seen a lot of biological stuff shift over the years. Yeah. And I've written a book for those who are interested. It's coming out next week, just to bring awareness on this topic. Now, what does inclusion mean? Yeah? How do we get this precious commodity? How do we get it? Let's see. We get this commodity through, anyone can answer? You got that about the chairs, inclusion and connection. How do we get this commodity of inclusion? Help. Relationships. It's all through relationships. So let's see what relationships are about. I've brought this wizard to help me out. He's here. He was passing through the stadium and he's here. So I'm just going to show you something. Just a minute. Thanks, Sita, for helping out. This wizard is passing through Kuala Lumpur and this area, and he's granting a wish to each age group. The first age group is below 6 years. And he's saying, what do you all want? And you can't ask for 1,000 other wishes. And so we have this little baby here from this age group. And these various little things are saying, oh, I don't want Papa and Mommy to go to work. I don't want to go to daycare. I want all the time to play with them. I want to eat all the ice cream I can. Why can't I eat dessert before eating vegetables? And the wizard here says, I've got to talk to your parents about this. Yeah. And then let's look at the next age group. He's coming to... Well, the next age group, what are they saying? Oh, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I hate homework. Why can't I play all the time? Why do you give brother more than me? Why do you give sister more than me? And then the wizard says, I've got to talk to your parents about this. Let's see the next age group. The adolescents, teenagers. And here I've got teenagers say, why can't I color my hair? I want to color my hair red or blue or pink. Why can't I play computer all the time? Why do you have to control me? Why can't I go out with girlfriends, boyfriends? I know what I'm doing. You'll have a pain in the backside for me. This parent's not listening to me. And he says, I've got to talk to your parents about this. The next group, the young adults, they're working hard. I'm giving my boss all the effort I'm putting in, and the company's making so much profits and he can't even give me a proper raise. Why can't he understand that I have to be there for my girlfriend's birthday today and just let me go off this one evening? He said, I've got to speak to the other party about this. Then the next group, the older age group, saying, hey, we want to buy that house, that medical health care insurance. There's so many things we want. I wish I would get that bonus. I wish I would get that leave. I wish my wife would understand me. I wish the children would understand me. And he says, okay, I've got to talk to other people. The mature group is the same thing. Oh, I wish the doctors would hear me. Within 3 sentences, they already know the diagnosis. I wish my children would hear me. I wish my people would be around me. He says, oh, I've got to talk to the other people about it. And so what were all these people actually longing for, and what were they asking for? Not what you heard me say. What were they asking for? Each one of us wish from our heart. We really wish this. If you can't grant me what I want, I'll do my best to get it. At least hear my experience of not getting it. Hear my sadness, disappointment, pain, my helplessness of not getting what I'm getting. Isn't that fair play? You don't have to give me everything I want, but hear my pain. Yeah? Grant me the respect. We all talk of respect. This is respect, guys, the key respect. Yeah? So what is a child's experience at such times, one who's going through cancer? It's just too overwhelming for them to even connect with it, recognize it, or express it. The play therapist plays a very, very crucial juncture at this point. Very important role. A key part of play therapy is it's nothing about play. The items in the room are all about sand, toys, clay, different things, mediums. But it's nothing about playing. You can't play yourself better. Play therapist supports the expression, inclusion, and acceptance of such deeply buried and yet so much on the surface experience that the child itself can't address. And that's what adult therapists do with adult clients too, yeah? So how does the play therapist manage to do this? And Sita here is one of the play therapists whom I know for a long time. The therapist's task is to create a commodity that's so difficult because it's intangible and we can't see it. It's an atmosphere of emotional safety. This means that the expression from what's within can happen, it can come out. And it's received with no judgment. And for those who are doctors here and to know a little bit of the science, in such an atmosphere of acceptance, there is an active inhibition of those neural circuits, the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, dorsal vagal nerve complex. There's an inhibition of all this, and because those circuits do not permit accessing of the messy experience within. Yeah, we want the ventral vagus circuit to be activated, to be accessed and activated. So in that atmosphere of acceptance, those experiences that are buried and under the skin, all this are accessed and it arises to the surface. And what happens as it arises to the surface? In the presence of that empathetic witness, the therapist, these intensely painful experiences are expressed verbally, non-verbally. It's for the therapist to know the themes below the talk. The talk is just the talk. What's the theme, yeah? And so what happens? Just as joy experienced and shared is joy increased, isn't it? When I have any good news, I immediately want to call my husband or my children and share. We are built for connectedness and inclusion. Just like that, when pain is shared, it becomes pain lightened. That's the same thing. But people aren't very much aware of it. I had a dear, my cousin, a very close cousin, also named Sudha, passed away a few months ago. And she wouldn't share of cancer. And said, I can't burden people with my pain. They leave me, Sudha, and they won't come back next time if we talk about pain. That's society's belief about pain, yeah? The weight of the burden remains the same. However, it feels lighter or less heavy. That's the purpose of sharing. That's why women like to vent a lot, that's sharing, but men don't get it and they're finding solutions, and vice versa. That's a lot of couple therapy stuff, yeah. So what happens? It becomes lighter. And so the child's experience is, I am not alone and isolated. Somebody is here with me. The child receives a huge sense of togetherness, inclusion, visibility through this acceptance of interpersonal acceptance, and personally it can accept its challenge. It comes to terms with what's it's going through in life. A consequence of the pain being lightened, living one more day becomes manageable. Living the whole week becomes manageable. Organ systems function better. The digestive system, the respiratory system, adrenal system, immune system. I can go on and on. The systems work way better. And I see that regularly. Yeah? And so let's summarize the talk as we are coming to the end. The brain-body system does not differentiate between physical pain and emotional pain. Allied health professionals need to be taken more seriously in this field. Yeah? Government gives so little tax relief for those who go for counseling sessions. But that's where we are at this stage. Canada takes it so seriously. Yeah? Prevention is better than trying to make it better later. The human body is designed for connection, inclusion, acceptance. And the human body, we are designed to do it together. We can't do it alone. Inclusion also means the inclusion of the full emotional experience. That's so important. Yeah? An attuned play therapist supports children express the experience verbally or non-verbally. And once it's out, it's hugely relieving and it becomes less scary because it's out there. It can be managed. Yeah? Pain shared is pain lightened. And of course, this is the last point and I'd like to emphasize on it. When we look away from the pain of any people, we diminish their humanity and our own. And so that's the key point. Thank you all for giving me a chance to speak here. It means a lot to me to spread awareness about this. And that's the book that will be out next week if you all are interested more on the defense circuits and where behavior manifests and all that. That's my number to contact me if you all are interested in more talks from the university. And yes, I am the president of the Trauma Therapy Association and you all can be in touch with us to find out more. Yeah, thanks. I did it within time and I'm very proud of myself. Thank you.